A man from Essex, who used to run a disco, has been branded Britain's migrant king after making tens of millions of pounds from the crisis. And guess what? All the money paid to Graham King has come from the taxpayer. You lucky people. Absolutely. Providing accommodation for Channel migrants helped King's company make £25 million in 2021. Good year, great year, 25 mil. But with more than 45,000 people arriving in small boats last year, their profits more than doubled in 2022. I mean, it is remarkable, OK, this guy, and what he's able to have achieved. Here with me to discuss this is political commentator Alex Armstrong. Alex, thank you very, very much. So the taxpayer has ended up paying this particular guy quite a lot of money, around £60 million in profits. I understand that he provides different bits, a variety of different elements of accommodation to Channel migrants, with mixed reviews, by the way, if you read what's on Google. Is this a waste of taxpayers' money or a true story about great British entrepreneurial spirit?
Yeah, well, we mustn't forget about great entrepreneurial spirit in this country. We certainly need a little bit more of it, that's for sure. However, this is quite shocking, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're spending millions and millions and millions of pounds on this every single day. Yeah. And to see someone so brazenly abusing the system, I mean, we know the government's procurement system's pretty bad as it is, but to see how much money we're really spending on this is quite shocking. Now, I know you were talking about the accommodation, and it looks pretty bad.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm sure there are better ways for the government to spend this money, don't you think, Patrick?
Well, I would have thought so. So Clear Springs Ready Homes is the company, apparently. It's made £500 million at times, this company, which is remarkable. His firm was paid £1.3 billion in 12 months. That's £3.5 million a day for accommodating and transporting arrivals. There are pictures of him on holiday. Well, you would be, wouldn't you, to be fair? On holiday, you know, topless, got the towel on, on the beach. I mean, I'd be, to be honest, I think I'd probably be dead in a week if I had that kind of money in my bank account. But this just shows the amount of money going about to accommodate for the migrant crisis, doesn't it? Yeah,
it does. I think the taxpayer is going to be pretty miffed by this news. I mean, do you know what? I think what's really upsetting people is that they've been crying out for the last decade for the government to get on top of this, a Tory government, to actually address this issue. And they've turned it into a multi-billion-pound capitalist venture fund. It's nuts. We really, really need to get on top of this. The government have got to wake up and listen to the public.
I mean, I suppose at least this is in some way going to a British businessman who may well end up paying tax on the millions of pounds that British taxpayers are paying for him. I'm looking for silver linings here. I'm just looking for silver linings here. He's 56 years old, this guy, Mr. King. He may become Britain's first immigration industry billionaire.
Mad.
With his Home Office contract lasting until September 2029. And this is an element of it. It really doesn't look like the government is actually planning on this stopping anytime soon.
No. I mean, you clearly said 2029, way past the next election, so I'm sure it'll be Labour's problem, and I'm sure they won't do much about it. But, you know, what was interesting to read about that is his daughter, who he's paid, you know, tens of thousands of pounds to send to boarding school, is selling artwork saying trade racists for refugees.
No.
Yes. So,
no.
Yeah. So there's clearly a political agenda embedded in their family as well. So, you know, I don't think Mr. King wants this to stop.
That is a really... I wonder what their kind of dinner conversation is like.
How many more refugees can we get into the camp this week to make some more money and sell some of your prints? Remarkable stuff. Yeah. Part of me thinks this guy has seen opportunity. So supposedly, this is all, you know, according to reports, he was running a caravan park on Canvey Island in Essex with his brother. He branched out after a disco that he ran, lost its licence, and he thought, well, he could maybe use the building, a former cinema, to house refugees instead. It has absolutely snowballed. I seriously, genuinely quite enjoy this guy's entrepreneurial spirit. I'm not knocking that at all. You know, why would you voluntarily turn down this kind of money if somebody's offering you? Yeah. But it is a damning sign of the times that it has actually come to this. Apparently, there's loads of these around the country. And, yeah, it's supposedly the living conditions are not particularly great. Yeah, sure. I mean, I wonder at what point he'll be making more money than Centre Parks. But, you know, what's really sad is that it doesn't seem to be either side of the political aisle a good way to solve this problem.
No.
I mean, Yvette Cooper came out today and she said, we'll do this by stopping hotels altogether. Well, what are you going to do with them? She's saying, we'll clear the backlog. Well, then where are you going to put everybody? So, you know, I understand someone's got to do this. I'm glad it's a British entrepreneur, I will say that. However, the British public just don't want it at all. So, you know, who's addressing this problem? Nobody. Nobody in the political aisle.
There's so much money going about here, right? So when people often wonder, why is the local hotel in my town, especially ones near airports, I mean, I could think of a couple near where my family are in Manchester Airport, where you think that hotel was doing well. That wasn't on its knees. There was no real obvious need for it to come in and be rescued by the Home Office here. That was surviving and had done for decades, as it was. And I think that gives an indication of how much money is on offer.
Yep.
It takes all the worries out of hoteliers' hands, this, doesn't it? You don't have to run your leisure facilities. You don't have to pay your staff. You don't have to do anything. We'll probably give you a refurb afterwards, and we will pay you way above what you would have earned in that month anyway.
Yeah, and I'm sure the deposits for these schemes are pretty big as well, so they'll be making a nice amount of interest on top of that too. You know, I mean, I think you actually might be one of the worst off people going to one of Mr. King's sites, given the living conditions. I'd rather be going to that 5-star hotel in Rochdale, frankly. Yeah. But, you know, again, it's just symptomatic of these issues, isn't it, Patrick? We can't get away from the real issue here, which is illegal immigration is costing us almost billions of pounds. It's more than we sent in aid to Syria.
It is
pretty mad.
He earns. Yeah, so this guy apparently has earned more off the migrant crisis, than the amount of money we've sent to Syria and that we've sent to a few other nations, entire nations, for foreign aid as well. So, I mean, I think, you know, that phrase, charity starts at home, I'm not sure people had in mind this guy who goes on globe-trotting holidays, alpine ski trips, and sends their daughter, allegedly, to a £44,000 a year boarding school, where she sells art prints for £10. Will trade racists for refugees. It'd be interesting, that. Not sure if she'd think that if that £44,000 a year boarding school dried up. But there we go. Look, thank you very much, Alex. Great to have you on the show.
Thanks.